Hiya lovelies, it's Zoe here from The Whisper Tree, and I have our broadcast for next week. It's a little bit different because I'm going on holiday next week and I just could not guarantee that there'll be Wi-Fi. So as I explained to the group, this is not live. This will not be live as when you get to watch it. We're kind of a few days ahead, but it was the only way that I could do it. It's also different in the fact that I've decided to gift this to people that come to the website, because I want them to have an opportunity to see what we do in the members group, so that they can experience a little bit of the energy, the wonderful energy that we have every week, and also the card reading and the teaching. So obviously that's why I'm explaining what we're going to be doing before we do it, because obviously you usually have to do it because you guys are really, really used to it. Okay, so this is going to be relevant for the week beginning, so the 11th, quickly 12, 30, well, yeah, 15th, sorry, the Monday the 15th of October, because obviously this is going to stay up on the website, so you kind of need to know a loose date of when this is relevant, because I've done a divine card reading for you, so it will be relevant in that week, the beginning the 15th, Monday the 15th of October 2018. So what we usually do in our live broadcast in our membership group, is we start with a card reading. Now these cards come from, and I work with them, you know, those clients that I work with regularly, people, the members, lovely members already know that I work very, very closely with these cards. These are actually from the Animal Magic set, which were channeled through by Alexis Cartwright, who is my teacher, and she is the founder of Transference Healing, which is what I'm trained in. So I'm trained to run this really kind of deep, powerful energy on my clients, and part of the tools that I use are the cards. But I work with them so closely, I use them all the time, and I love to bring them in to my weekly teachings. I work, because I divine it for whoever is watching. That's how you can work with these cards. I then take an aspect of the card, because I know that whoever is watching, whoever is tuned in, will need to hear that message. So our card for the week is Thunderbird. Okay, oh, it's the other way around. That's interesting, because it's not usually the other way around. I wonder why that is. The writing, never mind. But anyway, our card for the week beginning Monday the 15th of October is Thunderbird, as I've probably said several times. So this bird is, now the cards tap into animals that are living today, but also lost and forgotten about mythical creatures and elementals as well. But this is a mythical creature which features very strongly in Native American culture. It is it's like a huge eagle. It's absolutely massive. This is how they see it, or was seen, and they believe that it had the power to change the elements, to kind of manipulate the elements, so it could bring about storms, rain, to really cleanse the earth and humanity as a whole. So it's basically a very powerful, clearing, purifying card, which is great if we're really stuck in something. So as I said, it shifts energy, it cleanses. This is what it does, this is what it symbolizes. But it also symbolizes sudden revelation, sudden resolution, and it's like things are resolved overnight through the power of Thunderbird. So you're suddenly going to get insight into something that's been eluding you for a long time, or deluding you. And it's also about rapid transformation. So really great, but I'd say hold on to your hats for this week. So it wakes people up to really look at their behaviour. That's what it does. It has that power to really, really push you. And it's also about releasing negative patterning from like kind of genetic behaviour through to like, those beliefs that we all have that have come from childhood or wherever, these kind of dogmatic beliefs that we kind of cling on to. And it changes and shifts all of that for us, which is great really, because some of these beliefs can be very limiting, can't they? And obviously it creates profound shifts within the very cellular memories of our bodies. The DNA goes right down to that. It creates shift in the body, and it creates shifts in your reality and consciousness. It's also saying that we could be activating Kundalini. I just feel drawn to holding that up again, and it taps into this Kundalini energy. Now I know that for those of you that, you know, the members that come regularly and come to the workshops, I did a whole talk on Kundalini energy. It's a really, really powerful energy that lays dormant at the base of our spines. We all have it, but it does get activated and awakened, and it starts to travel up the body, going through the different chakras, and kind of revitalizing and shifting the body on a very deep level. So that's good. It also embodies electromagnetic energy, which is like the Earth's force field is of this electromagnetic energy, but also we have an electromagnetic energy that comes out of our heart and kind of is an aspect of our thoughts and our feelings. Our thoughts and our feelings have an energy as well as does our body. We have an energy that runs through us, a flow of energy, and this is electromagnetic of nature. It's also saying that we're kind of embodying more light, so that we can have healing shifts within the body. You know, and again, consciousness is opening because of this. And, you know, just to know that Thunderbird has this power, this incredible power to shift us really rapidly, you know, whether it's on the physical, on the mental, or the emotional, and that we will be getting these revelations and insights as well. So this is very much what I've decided to base my teaching on, is when we're in these shifts, which is what Thunderbird is saying, is that we're going to be shifting very rapidly. But what to do, how to support ourselves, and how does that represent and feel for us when we're in these shifts, because we all go through them, okay? And because I got Thunderbird up, I felt very drawn to talking about that today. And it kind of ties in with last week's teaching, which was all about the act of surrender and acceptance and how that can help us. So I'll be re-going over some of those teachings from last week. So it's all perfect. It always is perfect because it was divined up, the card. So what we always do every Tuesday within the members group, and remember this is recorded, it will be, usually it's live, so you get an opportunity to comment and ask questions, that you get feedback in the moment about any concerns you have or anything you've not understood. But obviously this is pre-recorded, so you won't be able to do that this week. But we always do an energy healing, so you go into meditation, and I run what's called a Child of Light procedure, which is has also been channeled through by Alexis Cartwright, my teacher, and I run energy. And I know for a fact that the members that listen to this, they really feel the benefits as though they were in the room with me. So it's brilliant. It's a deeply shifting energy, and it just really keeps you calm and balanced. And a lot of my clients say that it you know, and I know for myself, when I run it, I feel very bubbly and kind of effervescent afterwards. So it is a lovely energy. I run it on my sons as well, just because it's quite quick, and children really respond magically to the Child of Light energy. So I just love it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into meditation. I'll just explain to you, if you've never done it before, how to kind of get ready for that. You're going to close your eyes just so you can connect in more to the words I'm saying, and you're going to hear me saying things that you just probably won't understand initially, and it does not matter. It's not like a meditation where you have to really focus, because I'm running a high frequency energy on you, so you will benefit whether you understand what I'm saying or not. It's going to take about 5-6 minutes, so I want you to make sure first of all that you're not going to be disturbed when you listen to this. Okay, that's really important. Just honor that time. It's your time. Also, you need to be warm and you need to be comfortable. Ideally, it's better to sit up just so you're more receptive, rather than lying down. Now, I'm hoping you'll be able to hear the music. I'm going to put some kind of background music on, so I'm just setting that up at the moment. So hopefully you'll be able to hear that. Usually I always check with people because we're live, and they can always give me a little thumbs up or whatever if they can or can't hear it. But obviously this is pre-recorded, so we're just going to have to go with it and hope that it's all perfect. So I just put that up a little bit. Okay, so I want you to make sure you're warm, make sure you're comfortable, just sitting comfortably, and we're going to begin. So we're going to start by closing the eyes and taking in a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, just nice and gradually, in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. Just nice and deliberately. So we're just white lighting the body. I'm just running the energy now. White light in the body. So just trying to tune into that high frequency vibration of white light. And I'm running emerald green frequency of light into the heart chakra. Releasing fear. Clear quartz essence into the Chiron point. Attune the complex geometric matrix of the etheric body to the new fifth dimensional earth grid matrix to sustain an ongoing and enlightening healing process. White light in the body. Cross over the body. And again, another cross over the body. Opening the heart. Releasing pain. Heart symbol over the heart. Cross into the heart. Just holding that frequency. And again. Heart over the heart. Symbol into the heart. White light in the body. Silver diamond over the body. All geometric forces relating and responding to the Earth's magnetic geometric grid balance and come into alignment. So aligning the three main lines of force. Left hand side. Right hand side. Gravity line. Silver triangles along the main chakras. Heart, throat, third eye, crown. Just going up along the feminine side. Masculine side. Etheric drop of diamonds. Etheric and crystalline body to come into a state of balance and alignment matching that of the new earth grid, and that the body continues to clear and sustain the state of wellness and physical enlightenment. White light in the body. Purple frequency of light into the body. Let the vibration of purple resonate into the physical and etheric light body systems to create emotional balance, clarity and tranquility. Aqua blue. Vibration of aqua blue resonate into the physical and etheric light body systems to create a deeper level of perception and understanding. Vibration of purple up the body. Diamond over the body. All geometric forces relating and responding to the Earth's magnetic geometric grid balance and come into alignment. Gravity line. White light in the body. Triangle into the third eye, diamond over the body, another triangle, realignment to the triangular formation for etheric light body integration with the fifth dimensional grid, and then just completing the procedure. Feel safe, grounded and connected to the new earth. Okay, and then in your own time, just connecting back into your bodies, anchoring back down, and then in your own time, nice and slowly, opening your eyes. Okay, so just turn off that music. So hopefully you will have been able to, if you were tuning in more and open and receptive, been able to feel that energy. And as I said, this is going to really lift you and keep you in a calmer state, a more balanced state over the next few days, especially if you were open to it. And then this is something that I do every week. We sometimes have time for another visualization meditation on top of that, and then we always have the card reading and the teaching as well. So this is what we get in the membership site. So as I said, today's card, well, for the week beginning Monday the 15th of October, was Thunderbird. So I'd just like to show that up several times just so that you can really connect in. This is important because you're connecting in more to the magical aspects of the cards. You're getting the frequencies. You're hopefully hearing what you need to hear. And sometimes some of these concepts are very new to people, and that's absolutely fine if you don't understand it. That doesn't matter. It's just that you'll understand it when you need to understand it. It will trickle through, and the most important thing is you're connecting in and anchoring in the magical aspects of the cards that you need at this moment. So today's teaching, and for this week, this coming week, it's all about what to do when you're in this shift. Because if you remember, Thunderbird is about going through these rapid shifts, these rapid transformations, which means that this is probably what's gonna be happening to it, or has just recently happened to you. And that's what the card is picking up on. And as I said, if you're watching this, you were drawn at some level, higher than you, greater than you, to watch this because you needed to hear it. So the first thing I need to say is that we all have periods in our lives, don't we? We can all think of times and periods where, things have seemed a real struggle, very intense. And I think lately, with the way the energies are and all the planetary activations that are going on, the eclipses and all these things, that we will get more and more impacted. Humanity as a whole is getting more and more impacted, and this is why, a lot of people are feeling quite an intense struggle that almost feels relentless. It's something that's greater than us, something we don't always realise, but the more that I work in this way and I listen to other teachers, and we're all going through it, we really are going through it, but this is what we as transference healers like to call transference shifts. Some people call them shifts, some people call them being in the void. But the point is that we are feeling the struggle, and and we're hopefully learning what we need to learn. And this is very much what I felt drawn to talking to you about. And as I said, it ties in with last week's teaching. For those of you that are already members, you will know that last week's teaching was all about the act of surrender and acceptance in these moments of struggle. So in these periods when we really are struggling, it could be to do with health. So we could be having some sort of health crisis, which really does push us. It could be particular events that are very stressful for us, and we kind of get caught up in it all. Or just feelings, lots of negative feelings and thoughts that we're finding it difficult to move through and release and resolve within us. But all of these will lead to us having this quite intense time of introspection. It will push us to be introspective and quite soul searching sometimes. So, so certain events will trigger these shifts, but also at certain times of the year, we are naturally drawn to doing this because we have cycles within cycles. If you think about it, so us as women, we have our natural monthly cycle, don't we, that are often seen as seasons. And this is how we explain it, and this is how I explain it, is that when we have our period, we're in the winter season. So this is when we have the least amount of energy. We kind of just want to be we want to be more still. We're quite introspective. We ruminate on things, don't we? And then comes spring, and it's the start of a new cycle, and it's new growth, and we start to get ideas about what we want to do and different ways of being. Then in the summer period of our monthly cycle, we have loads of energy, we're ovulating, it's about creativity, new ideas, and our behavior reflects this. And then autumn, we're starting to think about things that we want to let go of, and that's our PMT time, when we're reflecting back on what we have or haven't achieved in the the summer period, and then we're thinking, well, we need to let go of that's not working. Boom, and then we come to the winter again, and this is when it's the end. It's a dying part of our cycle, ready for new growth. But also, if we think about it, the moon cycle is the same as well. And in ancient times, women would have been very in sync with their periods in the lunar cycle for that reason, and that it would be very strong, and that they'd have loads of energy in the summer part of the cycles and the least amount in the winter part of the cycles, and then have all sorts of gifts and things that would come through for them because they were being quiet and introspective, and they'd have revelation, all this sort of thing. But also we've got the seasons, haven't we, within the year. So these very much reflect our monthly cycle. So it's cycles within cycles that affects our behavior, our emotions, these periods of soul searching and introspection as well. So it's all good. But when we're in these times of void, it's difficult for us because we're feeling the struggle, things become intense. But I think partly, when we remember that everyone goes through this, no one is exempt from it because it's part of who we are, it kind of makes it easier. But these times are also crucial to our growth, to what I like to call our soul's growth. These darker times, the times of struggle, is what we need, because if we didn't have them, we wouldn't be introspective, we wouldn't be thinking about what we need to let go of, and it wouldn't drive us to do things differently. And I think when we start to think of it in terms of that, we always have these inner knowing, this inner knowing in those moments. Or, I certainly do now, because I think of things in this way, however tough it gets, because it will, and it does. I have this inner knowing that I know things will resolve, and it's all good because it's making me look at things differently. And I now believe very much that we have what's called, or what I like to call, divine intervention. It's not me that's coined the phrase, but that I understand that there's something so much bigger than ourselves out there that is kind of, not manipulating, but just driving certain situations, setting them up synchronistically so that we can do our learning around them. And as long as I don't get caught up in the overwhelm of the emotion and the drama of the moment, I know that if I can just sit and surrender to it and accept it, I will get these gifts of wisdom and clarity and insight as to a way forward, and I can feel my mind opening to different possibilities, and I feel I'm growing, I'm evolving, because that's what we want. We don't want to be stagnant, do we? Stagnate. And these periods are good because they make us reassess, they make us reevaluate, and sometimes it does make us feel uncomfortable. But, we need to feel uncomfortable, don't we, to drive us forward, to propel us forward. If we just thought everything was hunky-dory, we wouldn't do anything about it, would we? And yet we'd still have our struggles. So, I start to see things, as I said, that are no longer working for me. And these can include old beliefs, because as we said at the beginning, beliefs, and as Thunderbird picked up on, are very limiting. So, I sort of challenge my beliefs, I suppose. I look at my thoughts and my feelings, especially the more negative ones, and I work on letting them go a little bit more. These are things that are built up over a lifetime. So it's not... Although Thunderbird does say some things will rapidly shift, I'll just show you that up again. Some things take time and you have to chip away at them, and it's an ongoing process. Certain situations I know are just going to have to shift and change, or friendships, or your relationships, location where I'm living, or jobs, or these are the things that that we question in these moments. And then now even, I now start to see the spiritual meaning behind these events, the good, the positives behind it. I guess that's another way of putting it. And the fact that these situations have led me and forced me into a certain direction, which is perfect for me, which is where I have to be. But also I see any tricky situation, probably not necessarily these big shifts, but any potentially tricky situation or difficult situation that makes me feel uncomfortable, it's an opportunity for me to do what I call hold my light. So I'm not getting caught up in the drama of the situation. I'm just holding myself, and I find resolution, and I'm at peace with where I'm going with it all. So as I said, Thunderbird is saying, well, if we are in a shift, and maybe this week it's saying that we probably will be, but if we are, we'll experience it very, very rapidly. So we'll get the insight and the resolution and the way forward, even overnight. It's not that we're going to be stuck in it for days and days. So that's really, really good. So how can we support ourselves? I was thinking, as always, I like to give advice and guidance and tips as to how to support ourselves, when we're faced with these different things, and especially when we're in times of void, because we are susceptible, we are more vulnerable to, power plays where we're kind of battling with people and trying to get our power back from people, or energetic manipulation where we're kind of getting a bit manipulated into doing something, or someone says something and then we feel obliged to do something about it. It's all of that sort of thing. So if you are feeling a little bit vulnerable and you feel you're in this time of void, you need to be looking out for yourself a little bit more. So I would avoid the sorts of people that we all know and we all have in our lives that kind of drain you with their energy, and I think we all know people like that. So I'm not saying fall out of them and never see them again, but I would just maybe avoid them for a little bit, especially if you're going through something. You are not going to be able to help them. They are certainly not going to be able to help you, and they will just bring your frequency, your vibration down. So maybe just stay away from them for a little bit. Just be discerning about the sort of conversations you're getting mixed up in. If it's something of a more negative nature, maybe just stay away from it at the moment, because it's going to lower again your frequency, your vibration, which is not going to help you. Just be very discerning about the films that you watch. You want to watch inspirational, uplifting films, especially in these sorts of times. The books as well, be careful of the books you're reading for the same reason. Social media and reading other people's stories that you know, we can't avoid, and they are real and they happen. But if you were feeling vulnerable at the moment, just don't go there. Just don't go there, because you're not going to do yourself any favors. Now, what I like to do in these sort of times is reconnect to source, just reconnect to my inner self. And for those of you that have been coming every week, or, you know, your clients, or you know, on the member sites, so you're watching the broadcast, you know that I love to just do a simple reconnection where I just sit still, start my day like that, where I just deliberately put my hand over my heart and just bring through this feeling of love. Because for me, that's reconnecting to soul, that's reconnecting to my inner self, and it helps me just to come more from a heart-based consciousness, from a heart space, a loving space. And it just helps me so that during the day I remember to come back to it whenever I'm struggling, or, you know, I just feel a little bit negative, or, you know, I'm feeling negatively about someone. I come back to that heart space, and it just shifts for me, and it just helps me stay connected for as long as possible, because it's not easy. It's not easy, especially when we're getting impacted by other stuff going on around us. You know, I run energy on myself, so I might do the Child of Light, or I do a full healing. You know, if you do know of any sort of energy, then run that on yourself. Meditation as well can really, really help, just to kind of focus your mind and just have those quiet times. Honor those times. You know, you're in your winter, so you need to just be quiet and still, be introspective, welcome that, because that's going to help you with those insights. You know, light candles, just have create a quiet space for yourself, get in that habit. You know, and I'm just very, very aware of my thoughts and feelings, especially when I'm starting to feel a bit negative towards others. I kind of just come into my heart space, so I'm not projecting out, you know, I'm not projecting negatively on them, because I know that my thoughts and I know my feelings have an energy that will impact on others. So in that case, I'm owning it for myself, I'm owning my part in it, because I don't want to just blame others. It's not about that, and I'm going to lose that opportunity for growth if I do that. You know, and just all of this, and being mindful of all of this, will help support us as well. So I hope this has been helpful. You'll have the write-up as well along with the video, and I'm going to include a heart connection meditation just to help support you more with that in the moment. Thank you so much for watching, and connect soon. Bye.